Ready, Bob?
Ladies and gentlemen, back to the live coverage of the KFC Elite competition here on MG Sports. I'm your commentator for the day, John Stewart, and we have in our second game Harbour versus Montego Bay United. It's a replay of the first match day, and in the first game that was played today, we had KFA, Kingston Football Academy, taking on Ballers Academy, and that game ended 2-2. Pretty enthralling game, very exciting, lots of goal mouth action, and Kyle Hussey ended up getting the equalizer for Ballers Academy in the second half, rescuing a point for the boys in blue and black. But here we take our attention to Harbour versus Montego Bay United, who are still searching for the first win of the competition. And they'll be looking to avenge their earlier defeat to Harbour when they lost 2-0. It's a team that, in a similar vein to last year, tend to have some decent performances, but unable on either side of the ball to really retain the composure needed to secure all 3 points. And they did get a 1-1 draw last week against Portmore United thanks to a penalty from Cristiano Lawrence in the 73rd minute, but they did have a couple of chances to take home the win. Unfortunately, they couldn't. And just read out quickly the starting lineup for you for both teams. Junior Harris in goal, still in the place of Najani Blair. He's displaced him after a couple of poor showings in the first couple of games. We also have Khalid Fraser, Javon Campbell, Kimani McLean, Michael Foga, Christopher Allen, Amici Robinson, Cristiano Lawrence, Amiri Brown, Javon Anglin, Pendani Mesado, Devano Brown, and Clevon Campbell. As for Harbour they have Dequan Jemison back in goal, replacing Jian Singh, who stepped in for a couple of games due to an injury. We have also Shannon Powell returning to the starting lineup. Gianni Collins, Tristan Bethune, Stephen John Beckford, Kajay Fletcher, Peyton Larmond, Andre Ellis, Turcon Underhill, and Malik Wright. Harbour lose position there, and they'll have a throw-in. Ball launched upfield on a lovely pass there to find Kajay Fletcher on the left-hand side, and he gets past his man. Cross coming in there, a dangerous one, and Khalid Fraser is there at the near post to boot that clear for a corner kick to Harbour. That was Malik Wright, apologies, not Kajay Fletcher. Number of notable absentees for Harbour, of course, today. Chief among them being, of course, Deshaun Edwards, National Under-17 representative. But a corner comes in here towards the far post, but it's headed clear. Collins, and the cross comes in. Oh, in a dangerous area, and what a save! Deacon Jemison doing well. Junior Harris rather doing well to get to that one. Seemed as though Harbour were in to score the first goal of the game. Harris gets it to, well, trying to get it out wide to Malik Wright. And Javon Campbell gets there in time. He spins, lovely turn, and he'll play it upfield in the path of Misado, trying to feed his teammate, but Jemison gets there in time. Trying to play that one Brown for Amiri Brown, but unable to on that occasion. Lovely skillful pass there by Anglin. And just that out wide. Here's Fraser. Campbell. Oh, he's lost the ball here. Lost it to Peyton Larman. Cuts inside. Leaves it. Oh, he's gotten past his man there on the right hand side. Cross comes in and dealt well with there by Khalid Fraser. Again on hand to stop the attack. Anglin. Ball to Lawrence. Trying to play in Amiri Brown there, but good defensive work. Johnny Collins plays that backwards. Gian. And there's Khalid Fraser to Campbell. Plays the ball in. They're trying to find Amiri Brown, unable to there. It's cut out there by Tristan Bethune. And Harbourview played over the top, trying to find Daquan Underhill, but that's dealt with there by Khalid Fraser again, who's been rock solid thus far in the opening 7 minutes of this game. There's Campbell, launches downfield again, trying to find Campbell Anglin, but that's been headed away, and that will be a throw-in. And there's Larman trying to spin away from Christopher Allen, unable to, and Montego Bay United can mount a counter, but Amici Robinson's pass there goes astray, and that will go all the way through to Daquan Jemison in goal for Harbourview. There's Dose. Oh, he's lost it here in a bad position, but Harbourview win the ball back. Another bad pass. Thankfully, Malik Wright is there, trying to play it over the top for Underhill. Campbell and then Fraser. The ball from Montego Bay United. Allen to Campbell. Lawrence handles the ball there and gives away a free kick to Harbourview, much to his own frustration. Ball over the top there. Harbourview, ooh, he's beating his man there. Leaves it for Larman, skips past one. Went away from the goal. And to Malik Wright, but loses out to Lawrence on that occasion. Couldn't find Misado with a pass. Won the ball back, but in his attempt to find Amiri Brown, couldn't there and lost out. Anglin spins away from his man there for pace, cuts inside, tried to cut back out to the left hand side, and he does. Still has possession, and he loses out eventually, and it will be a throw-in to Harbourview. Anglin, a very talented player, very skillful and quick. Malden High representative, but does struggle at times with decision making in the final third. But they'll be hoping he puts it all together this campaign. He uses his ability for good, but Harbourview win the ball here in a dangerous position, and Harris does well to get it clear, and it's not clear. And eventually, Montego United get it away. Harbour View putting Montego United under pressure there. One comes in here to the back post, but shot. Oh, it's actually gone in. A surprise effort from distance. It took a wicked deflection somehow. Against all odds, Harbour View have really taken the lead here. Not necessarily against the run of play, but in terms of how the goal was scored, I must say, I didn't see that being scored. Very surprising effort there. They didn't quite close down the shot in time, and they've suffered the consequence. And yet again, Montego United find themselves a goal down early. There's trying to get away from his man there, but Harbour View won the ball back and surrendered position a bit too easily. Montego United. Right, trying to flick it around the corner there, unable to. And Allen perhaps trying to send that one up to Brown, but forthcoming. Collins, lovely crossfield pass. Oh, he's got past his man on the hill, but good recovery there by Khalid Fraser, who, despite already surrendering the clean sheet individually, has been pretty solid in this game. And Bethune just get that out wide. And Clean will just call for Harris to receive that one. Misado controls, trying to find Anglin on that left hand side, unable to on that occasion. And Dose, lovely pass into the path of what seems to be Underhill. Oh, and what a save by Harris, using his feet there. And Harbour View so very nearly coming close there to getting a second of the game. Claim there for Junior Harris. Campbell coming clear from the back here. Plays it upfield, trying to find Mesado, but that's dealt with there. Number 22, Andre Ellis, easily ushering that one out. Turn there by Harbour View, and the ball played over the top and finds Underhill, and plays called back from offside against him. Frustration. That one, reflection. Don't think he can have too many qualms about that. won by Christopher Allen, and now here's Misado. Fouled, and that will be a free kick to Montego Bay United. Taken quickly. There's Amiri Brown. He's through on goal here. Oh! And the shot almost looked like it was about to squeak into that near post. Montego United very nearly there. Just coming close to a equalizer. Their first real sight of goal there. Of course, it wasn't on target, but they'll be hoping for more encouraging signs in terms of trying to get back into this game. And there's Khalid Fraser again cutting out the danger at the back for Montego Bay United. It's a ball upfield to Anglin. A lovely pass there into the path of Brown, trying to find Anglin. But now here's Amici Robinson. Finds Anglin. Who finds Robinson, who couldn't quite get his head on the swivel quick enough, but it's a throw in now for Montego Bay United. Dose just playing a bit deeper than he usually does, but he's been instrumental thus far. Really quarterbacking that midfield. Lovely crossfield pass over the head of Misado there to find his teammate Ellis. And now is Collins. Lovely pass in the half space there to try to find his teammate, but cut out there. Ball won again here by Harbour View. Flicked on into the path of Larmond. He has options. He does find Collins, who's venturing forward, trying to find Taquan Underhill, but Rajonio Harris was on that in a flash. Here's Bethune. Dose delivers upfield, trying to find his teammate there. Shannon Powell, a right back who likes to venture forward quite frequently. He will leave space in behind for Javon Anglin to potentially run into, but they'll be hoping that the risk is worth. But now here's Larmond. And that's cleared by Lawrence. Now here's a dangerous mistake there by Robinson. He's lost the ball to Malik Wright. Cross. And no one there to meet it but Rajonio Harris. And that's cut out there, and the play goes Harbour View's way. Fraser finds Allen. Allen trying to clear it up field, but Andre Ellis won't have the chance to mount the counter for Harbour View as that play is called back, and now Cristiano Lawrence will take the resulting free kick. And it's Underhill getting it out wide to right. A few step overs and tried to play the ball in field for Larman, unable to. Campbell gets that clear for a throw in. And that will come off Campbell, and that will go for a corner kick to Harbour View. Corner to be taken now. They'll be hoping to extend their lead here. Corner comes in towards the back post, and it's met and tapped home for a second, I believe. And Montego Bay United find themselves 2 goals down here. And I must say, ladies and gentlemen, a poor showing at the back there. It seemed that it was cleared at first, only for it to be eventually tapped home. And poor defensive work there. It seemed for all the word that it was about to be cleared. And somehow, man was unmarked at the back after the ricochet and able to force that home. No one quick enough to react afterwards. And I must say that was, in my opinion, not even down to really a tactical approach. That was just a lack of effort, really, on the part of defending. Apart from the whole tactical setup of it all, it's at the end of the day effort and intensity. And thanks to a lot thereof, Montego Bay United at this water break, just 23 minutes into the game, find themselves 2 goals down. And it's that sort of defending, ladies and gentlemen, that's seen them be rooted at the basement of the league so far in this Elite Cup competition. In Harbour View, well, Montego Bay United actually, it seems, will be making a change. Clevon Campbell will be the one to make his way onto the pitch. And I believe it's going to be coming on for Javon Anglin. A substitution, given that they're 2 goals down, I don't think would make sense. Don't see how. Really don't see how that would make much sense from the coaching staff, given that they're, as I said before, 2 goals down, but Clevon Campbell's made his appearance here and he gets a cross in immediately, but that's cut out by Zayudos. Poor control there. And Campbell loses the ball. And now here's Amiri Brown, spins away from one. but loses possession. Norris Campbell to just head back to his goalkeeper Harris. And cleared downfield by Harris, trying to find Amici Robinson, trying to flick it over the head there of Andre Ellis. And instead, it'll be a throw in. Brown can go from distance, ups not to, and he's brought down in the box, and the referee says play on. Montego United thought they had a reasonable shout for a penalty there, and referees turned it down. And there's an opportunity for Amici Robinson to cross, blocked by Lorman, doing his defensive duties, the captain. The resulting cross easily claimed by Deacon Jemison, who his distribution is pretty good there, finds his teammate, and now is Stephen John Beckford. And Zaire Dowse gets that one clear to Beckford. Campbell, oh, he's lost it to Underhill in a dangerous position. He has to his left. Oh, he cuts inside, trying to beat Khalid Fraser. Unable to beat him there, and Harbour View will feel as though they could have gotten a third there. Unable to, however. Dose has a strike from distance and came close. Would have made for the best of the three. Had that gone in. But for now, they'll have to be content with just the two. And that's cleared by Gian Collins, or Tristan Bethune rather. And that will be a throw in to Montego Bay United. Lawrence to Mesado. And Beckford. Gets it out wide to Shannon Powell. Dose. And Collins just trying to spin away from Allen there skillfully. And Christopher Allen wins a free kick there. Pretty dangerous position for Montego United. Position of promise, and they'll be looking to see if they can earn a goal here, get a way back into this match. And Christopher Allen to take this free kick. And high and off target. Unable to get the dip on that one that he'd have wanted. And just about 10 to go into this first half of the game. Montego United still 2 goals down. Ball goes wide here for Shannon Powell. Kareem Emmanuel leaves it for Ellis. Oh, lovely turn by Ellis to get rid of his defender. Back to John Beckford. Larmond. Back to Larmond. Glides past two, but eventually lost the ball. Now it's Collins just to get it out wide to Dose, who's venturing forward and trying to play it into the box for Taquan Underhill to latch on. When he spun away from Allen there, can have a cross. Team effort, however, and that won't go as far as they would have wanted it to. And Montego United can have a chance to counter now with Cleveland Campbell trying to play it up front for Amiri Brown, but poor pass. Path into the path. Power. But Harborview repelled on that occasion, and they have a corner kick. And corner to be taken here and headed clear by Khalid Fraser, who's been perhaps the one really shining light in that back line thus far today. Here's Harborview trying to just mount an attack here. Just playing some keep ball around the back line. And Beckford to Dose. Out wide to Power. Finds Underhill. Retains possession. Power. Underhill. Malik Wright. Back to Underhill. Back to Malik Wright. Lovely build-up play. Back to Malik Wright. And Kimani McLean, right before they could do any damage, gets that clear and had a swing at it, but unable to hit it first time. Dose dealing with that. He's been really good today in an unfamiliar position, not traditionally a centre back, but playing deeper here today due to missing their stalwart at the back, Deshaun Edwards, who's been phenomenal for the national team under 17s, as well as Harborview themselves overseas at the moment, and that's the reason as to why he will not be playing today. But a cross comes in here, and that's easily claimed by Dequan Jemison. Ellis wins a free kick for Harborview, and now it's Stephen John Beckford. Collins, Peyton, back to Dose. Just about 6 to go in this one. Dominant performance by Harborview. Deserved lead here. And this is the scoreline that they, of course, won the first game by. And it's played out in a similar vein here. And we saw Balls Academy start out in a similar vein to their previous defeat against KFC and eventually got a better result than they did. We'll see if Montego United can do something similar. They're in here. Mesado! Pretty tame effort. In a really good position. Just needed some more composure in front of goal, but now here's Campbell playing it for Mesado. Back to Campbell. Cross comes, and that's cleared. Khalid Fraser again wins the ball, and Harborview can come again on the counter attack. Now here's Peyton Larmond wide, and Harborview through on goal here. Nipping at the... And oh my God, what a clearance by the defense. Harbour View almost looks certain there to be in for a third. And there's Shannon Power to Malik Wright. Oh, gets away from another. And looked as though he was going to play in Shannon Power to have an effort there on goal, but referee points for a free kick to Montego Bay. Misado trying to get it up front for Amiri Brown, unable to on that occasion. And that went out of play before he could regain position, Campbell, and that will be a throw into Harbour View. And Montego Bay United, we're not throwing here. If really been unable to really keep the ball for any sustained amount of period. And even when they have had it, to be fair, haven't really used it well. And Javon Anglin will be furious, of course, on the bench, looking pretty despondent, given that he's been substituted so early into the game. But I suppose Coach Rondane Robinson must be thinking that 2 goals down, they have to do something to restore some pride and change something to at least get a result out of this, some kind of a draw, at least. But Lawrence, ooh, a poor clearance there, and now Harbour View can come again with Andre Ellis to Larman, who spins, has space. Ooh, what a save by Harris. It was a central shot, but the power on that must have stung. And Harbour View really putting the pressure on now. Larman's corner towards the back post. Almost met there by Collins on the hill. Cross comes back in. Ooh, a back heel clearance in the box. Not sure about that. And Robinson trying to put it to Allen. And he does. Robinson trying to flick it around Collins, but loses the ball. And Harbour View have numbers forward here. Turns there. Beckford leaves it for Larmond. And cleared again by Khalid Fraser. Desperate defending from Montego Bay United at the moment. And some poor decision making at the back there. And that clearance there almost put them in trouble. And Kimani McLean has really seen better days. He's been destroyed really down this left-hand side of Montego Bay United's defense time and time again, thanks to the interplay really of Malik Wright and Taquan Underhill. And it seems to be a throw-in to Harbour View. Actually, the ball will go to Montego Bay United, much to the dismay of Stephen John Beckford. Lawrence looking for options here. Opts for Miri Brown. And there it is on the stroke of 40th minute there. And whistles blown. And the players are already collapsing due to exhaustion. But we do have another half to go in this one. Not been the greatest of games by any means for Montego Bay United. 2-0 down. Poor showing really, especially defensively. And they've been made to pay for some really poor mistakes. And as a result, they're 2-0 down at halftime. And we'll be back after the break. Welcome back, folks. Harbour View. As you can see on the scoreboard, 2 goals to the good against Montego United here in the second game of the 3-game slate that we have for you today on the KFC U18 Elite Cup. It's match day 5, of course. Harbour View currently second in the table, yet to lose a game. Well, they have lost 1 thus far, and that was against Mount Pleasant. But aside from that, they've been close to perfect. And again, just continuing their rich vein of form here. 2 goals to the good against Montego United, who have yet to get a win. They got their first point of the season last week against Portmore United, but all 3 points still elude them, and it's no wonder why, with the defending that they displayed in the first half that led to both goals. Lack of intensity really on the set piece in the second goal, and on the first really a matter of a deflection, but still the shot that came in there from distance could have been dealt better with. Could have been closed down earlier, but nevertheless, as we see the game start off, of course, game's still not over, folks. We saw KFA and Ballers play out a 2-2 draw, with both teams exchanging the lead. So anything is possible. And the ball played up there towards Amici Robinson, but that's cleared there by Andre Ellis. Throw and taken there. Now it's Harbour View. Regain position. Oh, lovely turn there by Harbour View's number 12, Shannon Power. And gets past Clevon Campbell, who falls him there. A bit of an old school tactic there. If he beats you, then it's your ankles that are on the line. And I must say, Harbour View have really come under next to no pressure in this game. Did have a chance towards the end of the first half through, I believe it was Cristiano Lawrence, but or Miri Brown rather, a shot into the side netting. But as we see there from the players, it was a somewhat serious injury to Shannon Brown, but he's back to his feet. But aside from that one opportunity for Montego United, they've really struggled to generate much of anything in the final third, and it's not looking good for them. Of course, they have quite a few talented players at their disposal, but we've just been unable to put it together as a team. And at that point, I think we have to look at the coaching staff and say what's going on in terms of making sure the boys have a structure that is able to get the most out of their talent, because the talent is there. Of course, a number of players aren't available to them today that we usually see, such as Shaim Bernard, and of course we haven't seen the likes of Kevonte Gooden this year, but there is talent available to this team, and it's just not able to really put it all together. And that, to me, at the end of the day, comes more down to how they're being coached than anything. But also the players, their intensity, their will to win, they're gonna have to, for themselves, muster up that. And that speaks to a level of maturity that I suppose to a degree cannot be coached. Of course, at this level, it's not all about the wins, as Eric Rademacher, coach of KFA, so aptly put it earlier on in the year, and that interview on TVJ. It's not all about the wins. At this point in their young careers, it's about development. It's about the process, how they're training, the skills they're learning. But have to say, to lose like this every week, it must take a toll on the psyche of these young players, especially the ones who know they have the talent to be putting in better performances than they are currently. One such player is, of course, Calanda Morris. We've seen him bag goals for fun in the Costa Cup, as well as for the Jamaican under 15 team. So they'll be wondering why isn't he able to perform in this competition. But now here's Amici Robinson. Cross comes in. And again, the end product, not the required level there. Sire's crossfield pass trying to find Ellis, but that's cleared there. And that will be a throw into Harbour View. Robinson clears on field, looking for Robinson, unable to find him. Dose played brilliantly at the back thus far, but I suppose he's not really been put under pressure considering he's in a new position. Ooh, and it's spilled there by Rajunia Harris, but thankfully for him, he wasn't made to pay there. Allen just trying to slit that through for a nutmeg, but loses the ball to Larman. Slips it through for Underhill, who cuts back and gets it through the legs of Khalid Fraser. Beats his man for pace, turns. And he's found Malik Wright, who leaves it for Underhill. And poor control there from Collins leaves Campbell. And the pass from Campbell not accurate enough for Mary Brown. And as we mentioned before, Dose has been really good out of position today, out of his usual position, but it's a bit easier to look as comfortable as he has when you're not really being put in a position to come under any sort of real pressure there from the front line. Bethune around the back here. Ooh, ball into his feet there, and he's forward from behind Stephen John Beckford there. Here's Larman. Crossfield pass, looking unable to find his teammate there, and that will be cleared downfield. Campbell trying to head it on for a teammate there, but Beckford gets it. And lovely Trivella there, finding his teammate. Now here's Collins. Here's Shannon Powell on the right hand side. Ooh, lovely bit of skill there to get past Campbell. Leaves it for Wright. Return pass. And he does go out wide. Oh, good feint there by Andre Ellis. And the cross is cut out, and that will be easy to claim for a Junior Harris in goal. And that was poor distribution there, and Harbour View have possession again with Collins. Nish Power, a dangerous cross across the face of goal, and Lormond, his shot ricocheted off the bar. And Harbour View, out of nowhere really, on that occasion, posing a threat to Montego Bay United. But unfortunately, at the moment, it doesn't look as though Montego Bay United themselves pose any threat to the goal of their opponents. Build-up play again, failing to really amount to anything. Now it's Lawrence to take the throw in. Finds Mesado. Really thick over his defender, but unable to get it back. Campbell spins and is fouled. Wins a free kick for Montego Bay United. I must say, Kajay Fletcher on that left hand side for Harbour View has been pretty good today, giving an option to Harbour View in terms of width. And Malik Wright has at times switched wings to really good effect, sometimes even just coming into the middle of the park and really being good at exchanging passes with the rest of his midfielders. I'd love to see the positionless freedom at times of those forward players for Harbour View. A lot of creativity in their tactical approach. And it's been played out to good effect, really bamboozling the defensive setup of Montego Bay United, and Peyton Larman string those passes through to the forward line has been instrumental as well to their success. But on that occasion, the pass wasn't successful. And Power skips away from his man there and skips away from another, and he's fouled. Finally, the flag goes up for that challenge. Skipped away from Campbell at the first time, and then McLean eventually brought him down. And Power seems to be holding his hand there. Dangerous challenge there from McLean, but only a foul, no yellow card. And free kick will be taken by Malik Wright. Free kick comes in towards the back post, and that's played on at the back post there off the head of a defender. It seems it will be a corner. Shot coming in there. Unable, however, to get it goalward. And I believe that will be Peyton Larman to go over to take. And here's Fletcher. Leaves it for Larman again. Cross coming in. Crossfield pass to Underhill, who has been brilliant up front today. No Asani, Gutsmore. No Ajani, French. He's been the man taxed, Underhill, with playing up top today, and he's done himself justice. His overall play has been quite excellent, dropping deep a lot at times to really help out those wingers and forward and midfielders, and to devastating effect really. Montego United, before they could get a shot off there, the ball was cleared, And McLean gets rid of that one before Harbourview could pounce on it there with Malik Wright. Playing around with it, and oh, what a bit of skill there by Power. He's been toying with the defenders here in the second half, and Lorman, lovely ball over the top, and the linesman flag eventually does go up there, and rightfully so. But lovely bit of skill there by Shannon Power. Yet again, he's had the beating of the defenders down that left hand side, Power. But now here's Campbell with the pass in, and now here's Lawrence trying to find a pass for Mesado. Couldn't get it there. And Harbourview, he's Beckford. He's fouled there, and Mesado is down. Seems his hand was injured there. A number of injuries to the hand so far in this game to several players. But he's up in a flash and seems he'll be okay. And that's cleared downfield by Dose. Looking for Fletcher. Ooh, and a dangerous challenge. And head in hands moment there for Christopher Allen. Even he knew that that was a pretty rough one. And it could have ended really, really badly for Fletcher there. Harbourview at the moment. Just about 25, 24 to go in this one. I've been on cruise control really. Cross comes in. And play is called back. Harris will just begin to take this one. Freezer to Allen, trying to get past Fletcher, and please called back for the foul there. Pretty obvious decision, I might add. Robinson trying to, ooh, lovely bit of flick over the defender there. And the pass, however, afterward, not quite with the same level of productivity, and that will be a throw-in to Montego Bay United. Misado, Fraser trying to clear it up field, looking for Lawrence, I believe, but unable to find him, and that will go all the way through to the goalkeeper. Michael Fogo, I believe that was that came on. Misado's turn, tried to take him around the centre back, but actually took him into the path of the defender. And Norman shows him how to do it there with a beautiful turn of his own. And this time found himself in acres of space. Now he gets it out wide to Fletcher, who actually falls Javon Campbell there. He's lost position in a pretty dangerous area, but won it back, and now it's Harbourview back with the ball at the back. Good use of the hands there, and it gets the ball out wide to Malik Wright, who heads it on for Shannon Power, who's been really toying with the players that he's encountered down the right hand side, but on that occasion he's unable to get past his man. So wide here is Power. And loses position. Montego United. Caught that clear. And Dose. Another lovely switch of the play. Trying to find his man. A good turn there by Foga, but he's eventually fouled. And seems the referee is pointed there to Beckford. Just getting a stern talking to the young number 10. Of course, as I mentioned earlier in the season, switched jerseys with Zaire Dowse this year. Dowse was the one in the number 10 last year. And Beckford at the 8. But it's been the reverse this season, and I must say, Zaire Dowse, as I mentioned before, one of the premier players in his position in this competition last season, and he's yet again been just that this year. And it's only a matter of time, really, and opportunity before he gets into the senior team with his level of talent. And just a bit of a keepy up session there, juggling session for the players there between Montego United and believe that to be taken on the hill from Harbour. Nice little show of camaraderie and skill there, despite them being on opposing teams today. And of course, there is the prevailing narrative from some folks that should never be friendly with the opponents on the field. And that perhaps a team that does that lacks the edge needed to win. But I'd argue that in Montego United's case, they needed a bit more than just having an edge. It's going to take tactical discipline. And Harbourview tried to mount a counter-attack there, but Khalid Fraser, as he so often has in this game, yet again on hand to win the ball back. And now Fraser has a shot from distance! And it looked for a second there as though that was about to head into the top corner. But the first real chance of the second half for Montego United, and arguably their best chance all game. Just their second shot. Yet to mount one on target to really trouble Jemison in goal. And Fraser again on hand there to snuff out the danger. Clears towards Campbell. Headed on by Foga. Robinson to Campbell. It's Cleavon Campbell. Cuts inside. Unable to engineer enough space to get the shot off. And now they can come clear. Lovely pass there. Finds Kajay Fletcher, who's been brilliant already this year. Actually scored against Montego United in their first game. And the control by Take on Underhill wasn't the best, but he wins the ball back here. And swoops inside. Ooh, nasty challenge by Kimani McLean. And rightfully so, the referee points for a free kick to Harbourview. And Harbourview have a free kick. And seems this free kick will be taken either by Lormond, but he's left it for Dose and saved by Harris and then cleared subsequently. And it seems it was by Mesado, and that will be a corner kick. Corner kick amounted to nothing there, and that will be a goal kick for Harbour View. Montego United really have suffered, not just throughout this game, but the course of this season, especially at the back. And coincidentally, Najani Blair, I feel, has been the one to suffer most for that. Was arguably, at least in my eyes, the best goalkeeper last year in the competition. He's had poor on a form in the start of this campaign, and subsequently was replaced in the last couple of games, including this one, by Junior Harris, who has not been able to perhaps get the defensive record that he'd want, but I feel it's more so on the strikers. Forward players from Montego United, they've scored the least amount of goals in this competition, both this and last year, and a lot of that really is just down to not really having any sort of fluidity, whether it be in the middle of the park or the final third, and that's really put them under more pressure than they need to, because the defensive line isn't as bad as their defensive record shows. I just think it's the fact that they lose the ball so frequently that constantly puts the back line under pressure and forces them to withstand abnormal amount of attacks, especially counter attacks. And we saw that last year, and it's reared its head again in this campaign. As I mentioned before, players like Shaheem Bernard are able to alleviate that, one of their better midfielders, but he's not here today. I just think with players like Gladstone missing as well, and just the overall lack of a real approach to the game from the midfield that enables them to keep the ball for any prolonged period of time, it's seen them have to withstand the pressure for a bit too long, and as a result they've tended to concede a lot of goals. And with it be Harris or Blair in goal, they're always going to suffer if that's the case. But nevertheless, on the rare occasion that Harris has been presented with a chance that was savable, for the most part he has done his job to a decent degree. Spilled a couple of his shots, but so far not been made to pay for that. And as we see the players behind Harris warm up there, that is the Portmore United team, and of course they'll be playing in the last game of the day, and they'll be taking on Mount Pleasant Academy, who are of course the reigning champions in this competition, beating Harbour View themselves 3-0 last year in the final. What was a thrilling clash, 2-0 rather, thanks to goals from Franco Celestin and Siobhan Byron, and a pretty dominant performance in the middle of the park by Miguel Joseph. And I must say, a huge part of why we even play the game is not just about the wins and the losses, or even the development, as Radameka's mentioned before early in the parts of the season, that interview that I mentioned. But it's really about the fun of it, and I don't think at the moment these Montego Bay United players are having fun. Of course, when you're losing as frequently as they are, it does begin to seep into the joy of the game. But even in how they play, not a lot of creativity or an imaginative thinking there in the process. And I really just think it's going to be a tall task to ask them to put in 100% effort to at least try to get something into this season. This season's still salvageable, of course. Still some ways to go into the season yet, but It's by no means going to be an easy task with the results that they've suffered thus far, and dare I say, by the looks of the performances as well. And seems Harbourview have made a change. Play it down there behind the play for Harbourview, but the referee will just play on, and a shot, and the first shot on target for Montego United, and it's quite easily saved, however, by Jian Singh, who's come on for Daquan Jemison in goal. Lormond, lovely pass, finds Power, who's been brilliant down that right hand side. Good turn there by Campbell, trying to get ahead of Collins, unable to, and that will be a throw in to Montego Bay United. And Paul comes over the top here. And here's Foga down this left hand side, leaves the pass for Campbell, and a wonderful challenge coming in here, and he's gotten that clear at some personal cost as well, it seems, but for now it's a throw in to Montego Bay United. And McLean will take the throw in, and Zaire Dowse is hobbling, however, at the moment. And Peyton Larman tried to kickstart the counter attack, but Khalid Fraser yet again stepping up there to snuff out the danger. But now it's Campbell. Turns. Masado. And the pass. Not with the requisite accuracy, really. And Khalid Fraser eventually had to foul the Harbourview player there in the back line, and that will be a free kick to Harbourview. It seems Collins is also hobbling. But Harbourview, considering they're on cruise control right now, of course it's just 7 minutes to go, but given the dominance they've displayed really throughout the course of this one, they're playing with a sort of swagger that really gives the impression that they know they've won already. And ball played across the face of goal. Of course, a move that's not generally encouraged, but when you're facing a team that's not really pressing as high as you'd see from a top level team, then you can afford to do stuff like that. And now a shot from distance from Foga, and had some power behind it, but hit wide. Now here's Beckford. Use it out wide. Unable to find his teammate there. Loses the ball yet again. There's Allen. And Masado unable to keep it in play, and that would be a goal kick to Harbour View. Tried to put it between the legs there of Campbell and loses possession. Govon Browns made his way onto the pitch, and that means Harbour View have made pretty much all their substitutions available to them. Well, not all the substitutions available to them, but perhaps all the ones that they want to make. And not the best of passes there, but it seems as though Asani Gutsmore, who also just came onto the pitch, could have still gotten to it. Wasn't the best pass in the world, but lovely pass there by Collins, trying to find another man who's made his way onto the pitch. But now here's Harbour View with a shot and leaves it, and effort goes wide from Collins. Harbour View almost getting a third here. They're in a 3v2 situation, unable, however, to make Montego Bay United pay on that occasion. Ball for Campbell. Gets past Bethune. Still goes through. And Allen just couldn't quite get it. And a bicycle kick pushed onto the bar by Jian Singh. And a corner to Montego Bay United, who were at the end of this game are showing signs of life. But it seems Zaire Dose, I believe, is on the ground, and he's showing the opposite. He seems exhausted, or perhaps just in pain, and it doesn't look like he'll be able to continue. The referee standing over him seems to be asking if he's okay. Still requiring some medical attention, but he's made his way off the pitch, and with just about 2 minutes to go in this one, Harbour View are almost certain to, at the very least, claim all three, but at the very least claim a point. Corner comes in for Montego Bay United. Oh, almost a touch at the back post there to tap it home, but such is their luck today and in this competition overall. Unable to get it from Kimani McLean. And they've lost the ball here, high up the pitch. And a poor pass there in the final third. And they have a chance themselves, Harbour View, to counter. It's Asani Gutsmore. Cuts inside. Larmond from distance. And actually a really good effort from there. Unfortunately unable to get it on target. And Harbour View somehow have taken yet another goal. It's 3-0, folks. Really, really poor there at the back from Montego Bay United. Junior Harris lambasting his defenders. Unfortunately, unable at this time to get you a replay, but that really was poor defending, and Montego Bay United have their blushes spared here. And that is it, folks. 3-0. And it was a poor finish, really. Tame effort, but Junior Harris made a meal of it, spilling it into his own net. And Harbour View really made a poor defensive team pay. And the game ends here. Harbour View 3, Montego Bay United. Of course, stay tuned here on MG Sports. We have the last game of the day coming up for you. Portmore United will be taking on Mount Pleasant. And you can just switch over, ladies and gentlemen, to the other stream.